Yo, what is really good, my dudes? Today is Monday, October 15th, 2018, and we got another RuneScape update for y'all. Today is mainly a patch week, but we see the continuation of the Halloween event, Till Death Do Us Part. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, so the Halloween event Till Death Do Us Part is still ongoing. It will be going throughout the month, so do check it out if you haven't already. If you have, then be glad to continue to do so. One interesting change this week is that War will be finally making his arrival, one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So he'll be joining forces and taking on the Rift and everything that happens to come out of it. So that'll be interesting, interact with him and see how he affects the battlefield. Also, if you are a Premier Club member, you will be able to claim an associated bobblehead pet at the Grand Exchange chest. So do check that out. I believe that is one of the 4 exclusive contents that was promised with the Gold Premier Club membership. If you remember, the first one we got was a jackalope pet from the player-owned farm, so now we get this bobblehead as the second available chest. That means we have 2 more chests to open up, and I believe that'll be both coming in November and December. Obviously, it's the last 2 months we have left of the year. So don't forget to grab that if you're a Gold Premier Club member. So that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward for the major game update this week. Not really that big, but it is what it is. I suppose we'll go over and take a look at the patch notes and see exactly what we got going on over there. So let's check it out. The inventory icon for uncharged Hammertrons has been fixed to show the correct icon. The hidey hole for the Crossroads of Draynor has been returned to its rightful place. Hotfix last week, the trapdoor of the Thieves Guild was accidentally removed and has been replaced. Reposition the model view to better represent augmented Torva legs in the inventory icon. The falling urn inside the warp chamber will no longer appear translucent. A graphical issue with the steel kite shield has been fixed. Adjusted the colors on the adamant gauntlets model to match those on the adamant plate body. Virtus robe legs will no longer try to attach themselves to an Imperium core when in a combat stance. Flaming sword effect will no longer appear when player equips a mount. Volatile and Blightbound lashers will no longer turn transparent during their attack animations. Tweaked ectophile model to make it brighter. Fix the construction skill cape inventory icons. A graphical issue with the female torso when wearing the Samba outfit has been fixed. The replica infinity rope top no longer stretches when used with a sadwalk animation. The holy symbol no longer clips when worn by a female character. Tainted shard charges are only awarded from the Twitch loot crate when the contents are given to the player. You will now be prompted when attacking soulless armored zombies summoned by the soulless necromancer in the Till Death Do Us Part Halloween events that Death's Soul Rift is better suited to deal with them. Slayer XP is now gained from all the soulless unarmed zombies around the rift in Draynor. You're now prompted if interacting with an untoggled tainted shard in your inventory whether you would like to focus spending your charges on stabilizing rifts faster or gaining more XP whilst stabilizing rifts. Removing rooms in the POH now correctly updates the room counts in the house settings interface. Variety mush can now be added to player-owned farm troughs through Make X. The examine on the chaotic cloud in RuneSpan will now state the correct level requirement needed to siphon from them. You can no longer place hunting traps in your animal pens at the player-owned farm. You can no longer plant mithril seeds in the animal pens, and you can no longer drop items in your animal pens. Fix the typo on a chat message when monkey trinkets give an XP lamp. Fix the typo in the hunter skill cape examine. Reduced damage taken in the Elite Dungeon story mode further down to 10% of normal mode. Prevented sanity checks from the Halloween event catching players out when re-entering the climax of Nomad's Elegy. Fixed a typo in the quest journal for Let Them Eat Pie. Completing certain achievements will no longer trigger the irrelevant meta achievement messages. A bug that prevented the quest Priest in Peril from being completed if you did not have space to accept your rewards has been fixed. Hiding your username on login will now make it stay hidden when typing. Death will no longer order you to enter the rift when you can't. Hotfix from last week, the Sign of Life now activates correctly on Death. Augmented Polypore Staff can once again be used to cast Polypore Strike. You can once again drag items from your worn equipment to an action bar. When using radial targeting in conjunction with ability queuing, abilities won't activate when combat is initiated, putting the ability on cooldown without firing. This has now been fixed. The wording for the teleport option to the dig site examine center on the dig site pendant has been corrected to be more consistent with other instances of the wordage around the game. Sorted items are now correctly referred to as noted items in the token option interface in the Warriors Guild. Fixed an issue that caused the game to crash when trying to withdraw 2 of the same outfit in quick succession from Diango. An issue causing unaugmented shadow-dyed malevolent greaves to not be recognized on the invention bench has been fixed. Uncut onyx drops from Solak are now noted. Added Solak kill count to Perdita and the Blightdown Lashers examine text when overriding familiars. Remove the full stop from the imbued bark shard object's name. Capitalize the G in Grove from the Solak item log title. Dazzling 2, 3, or 4 leaf clover necklaces no longer remove 2 charges upon activation. Added a ton of new foods to player-owned farm food trough options. Hovering over a clan member in clan settings can now display the date they joined the clan. Note that this only tracks back to the release of the clan chat channel, April 12th, 2011. Hazelmere's Signet Ring now gives a chance to double rare loot from Solak. You now have an option to press Do Not Ask Me Again when the Are You Sure You Want to Log Out box appears. Players can now choose to not be asked the confirmation dialogue for jumping down into the next fight. This can be reset by talking to Ashalot's Rays. Additionally, there's a right-click op to skip the initial dialogue asking whether you want to enter an encounter or use custom encounter options. Added a magic shop icon for Wizard Jalarast. Spring Cleaner springs now have an add all op that adds all the springs for the chosen operation, charge, or upgrade. Similar ops have been added to the add springs and quick upgrade buttons on the Spring Cleaner interface. Players can now mute the Spring Cleaner's sentient speech. Added the 4 balloon animals from the old Prison Pete's random events as follower pets. These can be unlocked at the Falador party room. Mousing over items in the GE search now displays their tooltips showing information such as combat stats bonuses for weapons or healing amounts for consumables. The statue bag interface now remain open during gameplay. Friends, world, and global broadcast messages colors can now be customized in the chat customization settings found within gameplay under social. Added a mushroom patch teleport to the Tyranwin quiver. Players must have completed the hard tier of the Tyranwin tasks to use this option. Vials of water and coconut milk now have a make option, calling a make X interface for unfinished potions. Seed Aside now works when trapping Jadinkos at Herblore Habitat. Converted Sparkles, Mackers, and the Corgi from object to interface pets. The interface for retuning the portals in the Max Guild Garden have been updated. Couple of mobile changes. Unskippable chat boxes will no longer have an arrow on them. Chat-based menus will now automatically close when you minimize chat. The Make X window will now move based on the chat box size. The escape to skip a cutscene has been replaced with a tap here to skip. The back button on the keyboard will now close any prompt on the login screen instead of closing the RuneScape mobile application. Your action bar setup on mobile will no longer affect your action bars on desktop. And finally, the switching of the action bars has been improved. And that is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in the video will be down in the description below. If you want to go ahead and check it out for yourself, head on over there to do so. With that, I'm going to wrap the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, hit the subscribe button. It was all appreciate you watching. I'm out. Peace.